Alright, so I was playing Ghost of Tsushima. I just picked it up recently, and to be honest, I thought the game was pretty bad at first. So I kind of want to just give my first impressions of the game and what I thought about it so far. Because originally when I picked up the game, I played it for about 5 hours or so. I didn't like it that much. I was actually considering on actually returning the game or trying to figure out how to refund it or whatever, because the game was not fun at all. So in the beginning of the game, my first thoughts were that the game had a beautiful opening. The graphics were pretty good, but besides that, it had pretty repetitive gameplay. There wasn't really much to it. It was just a whole bunch of Mongol camps, and you basically just go to the Mongol camps, fight a couple enemies, liberate the camp, and then that's pretty much it. I thought that was pretty much all there was to this game. I didn't really see much else. The game started to get a lot more interesting further on, but I'll talk about that later. So yeah, the start of the game was pretty slow. Wasn't really much depth to the combat. The open world was pretty nice. I got a little bit bored at the start. I didn't really think there was much to it. There was just nice grass. The game looked pretty, but I was like, what else? What else is there, It's really just like Mongols stopping you when you're running, little camps scattered throughout. And to be honest, that's really all there is. Right now, I'm still playing through the game. I'm liking the game a lot better. But these are just, some of the things that I've noticed as I was playing the game for the first time. The quests were kind of boring, kind of your typical trail quest. Typical go here, do that, whatever. And I haven't really gotten too deep into the story. I'm still in Arc 1, I believe. So maybe the quests will start to pick up. Well, they have picked up, actually, as I've been getting new weapons and whatnot. And the quests have gotten a lot more exciting in terms of the story and whatnot. The enemies have gotten a lot more difficult, too. Speaking of the enemies and fighting, the camera for this game was one of the main things I've seen people complain about, and it's not super bad, but it's just it's manageable. It's manageable. Okay, so when you're playing Ghost of Tsushima, you have to realize this. It's a samurai game, right? I think that's when I started to realize that the game is a lot better and can be a lot better. It's a samurai game. You can't expect a samurai game to be super complex and to introduce a whole bunch of new things. I understand there are some people who think that this game is just like the same sandboxed open world game, which in a way it is, but it has a lot of unique elements to it. The stealth is okay. The stealth was like typical stealth gameplay. You can't expect stealth gameplay to be the most complex, intricate, thing in the world. Stealth is stealth. You get your stealth. The standoffs are pretty fun. The standoffs do get they were kind of repetitive at the beginning. Later on in the game, the enemies start tricking you up a little bit more, going for fakes or whatnot. So in terms of that combat, the standoffs are okay. The main story is all over the place at the beginning, because you're basically just recruiting people, but each person that you're recruiting has a separate story for that, so that's pretty interesting as well. And another thing that I want to note about the open world is that the open world even though it looks bland at first when I was first going through it, as you travel with your horse, whatever you named your horse, the open world kind of opens a little more with the things that it shows you. They have certain markers and certain animals that kind of help guide you throughout the whole thing. They have a yellow bird that it'll randomly pop up, or they have a fox that'll show you a certain location. The fox dens give you access to more charms, which help you upgrade your character a little bit more. The bird brings you to haikus or bamboos or just different things like that. The customizations what really kept me into the game, because once you start customizing and whatnot, you start having more fun with the game. Gives you more access to maybe a little more combos, a little more abilities. There's also missions in this game that give you more weapon skills, and those are unlocked by certain boss fights, which I'm not gonna say right now because that would be a spoiler. Also, the techniques that you get from, you know, going to the Mongol camps and whatnot, those are pretty fun to do. One issue with the Mongol camps is I guess they're all the same, but they're still fun. I really do like it. I think for me, the stances is what really kept me into the game, because trust me, this game, it might seem boring. I know I'm going off on, I'm just rambling right now because I don't have a script. It's kind of just off the dome. The game might seem boring. Stick with it. Once you start getting the stances, it gets a lot more fun. There's a lot more to do with the game. The bow and arrow is my favorite thing to do with the game anyway, using the bow and arrow. But the game is a lot of fun once you start actually getting into it. I think this game is definitely a really slow burn. Needs like a good two hours or so to kind of really get into the groove of the game. More people have, you know, gotten into the game faster, but for people like me, this game, I thought it was overhyped. Watching it, it just looked repetitive, but trust me, if you stick with it for like a little bit more longer, a little longer, then it'll kind of stick. So this is kind of my first impressions of the game. I didn't really have a script for this or anything. I just kind of had like 3 points I wanted to talk about, and I just went off on a tangent or whatever. But hope you guys did enjoy. This is kind of my first impressions. Hopefully this will help people either buy or not buy the game, because I definitely have to watch a lot of reviews before I even picked up this game for the first time. So hopefully that helped anybody watching this. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I can't think of anything else that I want to point out about this game. Hope you guys pick up this game, and hope you guys like it. That's pretty much all for me. Peace.